It seems like I'm always in a hurry when I'm filming these, and that's not changing today. Okay, if you're looking at the screen, you can probably tell that I'm discussing Breakaway snap buckles, if you can even call them buckles. I got these in a relatively cheap, like $3 12-piece pack. That is, you have 12 of each half, the male and the female side, and they work pretty well. I'm currently testing it out with this guy, whom you may remember from the video about it, and I really like this knife, but as soon as I finished up most of my work on this fellow, I kind of stopped caring about this knife. Now, I did run into a little bit of a problem. The breakaway snap works just fine for this knife. That is, I can have it out in my hand here and no issue when I draw this out. But if I try that same thing using this knife, the draw weight on this knife is so large that it snaps the breakaway before the knife lets go. Now, this problem can be solved with just a little thumb push right there, but in an emergency, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to reach into my shirt and pull it out, and if the sheath comes with it, then that's going to be a problem. So this is going to be a little head-to-head over the next week as I wear this guy. This is essentially just like a little loop of cord, and you can use basically all that I did there was that's it. And then I put a clove hitch on this so that it here, I will actually show you exactly what I did. I put a little more slack, a clove hitch on it. And with the TacCord that I'm using, being as stiff as it is, I'm actually pretty comfortable leaving this relatively loose. I mean, I'm still going to tighten it down, but I'm not going to put like major muscle into this. Then just from wearing it, that tightens down a little bit, and then there we go. And now I can, from the reaction that the knife sheath had there, you can probably tell that that's a bit of a heavy draw weight there. Now it's going to take a little bit of playing around with if you want to replicate that, but I'm in the process of testing it, and if you don't see another video about this in a week or two, that means that, well, I haven't really decided what that means. I'll tell you what, I'll just talk to you guys about it no matter what, because this is my daily use knife. If this thing holds up, I'll tell you. If it doesn't hold up, I'll tell you anyway. Alright, so these guys are a specialized form of chain sinnet, and if you click through here you can see the chain sinnet. This is the kind that you can draw out from either side, but I use that mainly because it looks pretty, not because I actually need to draw it out from the other side. It was just so that I could shorten up the cord a little bit, because I made it to size with this one, but it turns out that for this sheath that sets it a little too low. See, normally with the way that it was tied before, I could just add slack to the loop, but I can't really do that here. So I have these little shorteners that also serve to stop these clips from getting lost down there. It's just a little overhand knot on the other side. And that brings me to my first major criticism for these. These guys right here turned out not to be big enough to accommodate proper paracord. Like, here, I will even demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. And with okay, so now that's cut pretty thin and it's singed on an angle, so I ought to be able to get it through that hole if I force it. Now, this is already not looking good. Yep, that's not happening. Alright, so I have to use a different one to do this now. This is the one from my hip that holds my the carbiner on my flashlight around my belt loop. I'm actually going to make a video showing you guys what my setup is for that, or maybe it'll just be a Reddit post. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so you have to specially cut the paracord in order to get it through there, but now that you've gotten it through there, put an overhand loop in it, or an overhand knot in it, and now you're stuck. It's not big enough. The knot is not going to fit in there, and if you did that on the other side, the wide side, you find that the knot fills the entire clip so that you can't put that side in at all. It's just not doable. So if you're going to use a breakaway, either use it for TacCord or make sure that you scout the size of the thing in advance. There will be stats on it in the description, hopefully, if I can, yeah. I'll give you ballpark measurements. I don't really have those calipers. Is that what those are called? Yeah, we'll just call them calipers for now. I don't really have those measurement tools, so I'll give you rough estimates of the dimensions of these things. There we go. And got that back hitched up on my belt again. Yeah. Other than that and the draw weight problem, that's really all of my complaints. This is easily this is the obviously superior way if you're going to make use hardware like this to make a necklace or a necklace. I know that one came from my wrist, but that's just because I had it doubled over. Yeah. If you're not going to use hardware, then you should go with something like that, because that also has those breakaway properties. Or maybe, just maybe, this knot will work when you put it under a lot of pressure. I'm not going to do it right now because, I already demonstrated it earlier in the video. You can just back that up. But when you put that under enough strain, it will pop. Now, don't just tie it one time and let that be that. You want to test it a couple of times so you can get a feel for how to give it that draw weight so that it will snap. Because otherwise you might tie it on too tight and it will actually not come off unless it really yanks, and that could be dangerous. So yeah, don't do that. Make sure you test your breakaway knot before you try it out. I'll give it its own video if it actually works out pretty well for me. So, all right, I've repeated myself enough for this. If this has been helpful to you in deciding whether you want these breakaway clips or not, give me a thumbs up. Maybe give me a subscription, or pass the video around to people that you know who do paracord things. Maybe they're into 275 cord as well, and this will serve as something useful for them. This is probably going to be the default way that I do my knife sheaths when I get through the knife making process, because this design overall is really growing on me. Okay, you can also visit my shop for things like this design that I'm testing out right now, which you will find more of in a video in the future, because it's looking really good on this knife design. Or you can get something like that guy, the wave chain, which also has a coil form. Look at that. And it's obviously quick release. There we go. That can be had at my Etsy shop. Alright, hopefully you like what you see. Thanks for watching.